Hello everyone, my name is Shane, and in this video we're going to be doing an unboxing, and I'm going to give my first impressions on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. This phone is available at the time of this video. I'll have some links to it in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. The retail price, $1,300. Comes in 6 different colors: black, white, sky blue, this cobalt violet color we're going to be checking out today, and 2 Samsung exclusive colors, a pink gold and silver shadow. This phone comes in 3 different configurations. We have a base model of 256 gigabytes of storage, 12 gigs of RAM. We have an upgraded 512 gigabyte storage model, also with the 12 gigabytes of RAM, and a max spec of 1 terabyte and 16 gigabytes of RAM. Shout out to Samsung for sending out this review unit ahead of time. Inside the box, we have our usual suspects: SIM ejection tool, little bit of paperwork, and USB Type-C to Type-C charging cable. And now here is our first look at the newly designed and updated Galaxy S26 Ultra. So similar to last year's S25 Ultra getting a little more rounded, we are going completely rounded now on this S26 Ultra. This is a far departure from the S24 Ultra and older. We now have a completely rounded out phone here, and they've also softened up all the edges on this, so it's the least Ultra feeling phone ever. But I am personally really enjoying the new feel on this initially. We're coming in here at 213 grams on last year's S25 Ultra, 214 grams, not a major difference. You're going to notice the difference for the older gens. In addition to getting slightly thinner, so we're now at 7.9 millimeters on this compared to 8.2 on the S25 Ultra. I'm also so glad to see Samsung reverting back to just a simple camera layout like they've done in so many past years. I personally was not a fan at all of this black camera ring design that was on a lot of Samsung's recent releases. You can see how much light is just reflecting and bouncing off of them, and just kind of has a plasticky, cheap look to it in my opinion. But now we just have a super simple looking camera layout here, a little bit of frosted glass to help it out a bit. I am personally just not the biggest fan of having massive camera modules on the back of my phone, so I love that this has a flagship camera setup in what is just a really simple design. Taking a physical tour, on the right we have our power button and volume rockers. On the top we have 2 mics, on the left we have nothing, and on the bottom we have our SIM tray, which in here we have room for 1 SIM card, no micro SD expansion here. We have another mic. The Type-C port this year is now capable of 60-watt charging. Samsung's calling this super fast charging 3.0. We'll check this out later in the video. We have a dual speaker setup on this, and of course the S Pen. Absolutely love that we still have the S Pen here. I understand it doesn't have the Bluetooth functionalities anymore, similar to the S25 Ultra, but I'm just still glad that it's here. It has been slightly redesigned this year to match the corner of the phone, so the easiest way to remember, just have the button on top, and then you're going to click it in the right way each time. And I also read a comment somewhere that the S Pen is smaller this year, so let's just do a quick inspection. So this S26 Ultra S Pen actually slimming down a little bit to my surprise. And now let's take our first look at the 6.9-inch 1440p 120Hz refresh rate AMOLED display. Also the anti-reflective coating, of course. Feels really nice to have this much screen space in a slimmed down design. But above all else, what makes this display so interesting this year is we have the new privacy screen. So I have this just as a double press here. It really does dim down the display a lot. So just show it again, turn it back off. You can see I can see this screen perfectly fine from an angle. And if I go ahead, turn it back on, it just completely pretty much vanishes out the display from side angles. I think it is going to give so much more peace of mind just being out and about, and whatever you want to do on your phone, you can just go ahead and enable that at a moment's notice. And you can also configure it to specific apps, like a banking app or something, so you don't have to always be hitting that button all the time. It'll just do it automatically. And there's also an option to hide your notifications. You can see there, if I have it on the side, you can't really see what it says. So I am absolutely loving the privacy display feature initially. As far as getting into the phone, we have the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, so just a tap of your thumb. It is literally just a tap, gets you right in. We also have face recognition. Gets you in super quick. Taking a look at the cameras now, we have Samsung's most versatile camera setup here. Of course, we have the 200 megapixel primary lens. We have a 50 megapixel ultra wide lens here. There is a 10 megapixel 3 times optical zoom. There is also an optical zoom at 5 times. You're able to do this at 50 megapixels. And then the 10 times, because of the higher megapixel count it now has compared to past gens, they call this optical quality. So I'll show another example of this here. When I was on my way home from the Samsung event, going over the Rocky Mountains, I did a test of this with the 10 times optical quality. There is also then a preset for a 30 times zoom. And then of course we have the 100 times zoom, not a ton of improvement here. And the zoom on the video side has been slightly improved. We had up to 20 times zoom on last year's S25 Ultra. This year we are now getting up to 25 times zoom. Also on the video side, we have the highly anticipated super steady with horizontal lock. So putting this horizontal lock to the test here, you can see I am twisting the phone over really drastically, and it's going to hold a steady video image for you here. So honestly, super excited about this feature. It's basically just a built-in gimbal to your phone now. I'm also really liking some of the new Galaxy AI features initially. So one of them is just this image generation. You can hit the Galaxy AI button on any image. So this is my original picture I took earlier today. This was actually a pretty low light photo, but it was able to bring a lot of light into it. It takes a few seconds for the image to generate, but I'm getting really good results here initially. You can see here, loving this retro anime one for this image specifically. Just picks up on all the little details. It's just super easy to come in here, select some of these different options. So there's a crayon option, anime, oil painting, watercolor, a lot of things to play around with. And when you do generate these images, you will get a little guy in the corner here, AI generated. But this is a lot of fun to play with and super easy to do. It's just right here with the Galaxy AI button. And then you go ahead and hit this styles button, and then you can just go to town on all these different styles. Let's do another one of my puppy here, since this is super fun to play with. Just hit that Galaxy AI, hit the styles. Let's turn this one into oil painting. So this is super fun to play around with. I'm really liking this aspect of Galaxy AI. You can also alter images with a prompt. So I just did a prompt, have my puppy's face towards the camera since she's looking away in this original image. After I hit generate, this is what it made for me. You can see it also changes the shadow too, so it really keeps the realism of the image. There is also a new stickers feature now, so you can just hold down on any subject and go ahead, save it as a sticker. There's different styles of these too. I'll just go ahead, keep the original, done. You can also do this on your AI generated content. So just go ahead, do the same thing. Save that as a sticker. And now when I go into my keyboard, I can go ahead, hit the smiley face. There's a Galaxy AI button here, and then I can go ahead and access those stickers that I just generated. So I can go ahead, send that off. And this isn't exclusive to Samsung devices or anything. Here's my iPhone that I just sent it over to. I'm also getting very good performance initially in my initial test doing some gaming here. This is the Razer Kishi V3 controller. I'll have this linked in the description if you're interested. This is one of the best mobile controllers I've used as of recent. We'll also do a little speaker test here. Very smooth performance on this, honestly. There we go. Honestly, very smooth performance on this device. They have increased some of the CPU and GPU performance on this slightly. It's an overclocked Snapdragon 8 Elite processor here. Of course, love having the S Pen here, especially for some gaming. So testing out some old school RuneScape here. Very smooth performance on this. Just helps so much when you're playing mobile games to have a stylus to just do these very precise and specific inputs on tiny items in your inventory, for example. There we go, level 81 strength. Just been doing some AFK training here while getting this video ready for you guys. Really enjoying the gaming experience here, whether with a controller or an S Pen. Very large display here. Taking a look at my first battery cycle, we're down to 4%. I got nearly 8 hours of screen on time. This was with the highest resolution turned on, 120 hertz refresh rate, a lot of maximum brightness, watching a lot of YouTube, doing a fair amount of camera usage to prepare for this video, doing a lot of gaming testing and some photo editing, Galaxy AI, a lot of use with the new Galaxy Buds 4 Pro. Check out that video next. I'm definitely more than happy with the 8 hours of screen on time. I know a lot of people out there are upset that this isn't getting a larger battery capacity. We still just have the 5,000 milliamp hours here, but even if it doesn't have the flashiest battery tech on the market currently, I would say I'm still going to be getting good battery life on this in addition to really good performance. And while I wait for this to completely die out, it's going to be time to check out the new 60-watt charging speeds on this S26 Ultra. So I went out and got the new official 60-watt charger from Samsung, and we are underway. At the 5-minute mark, we're nearly 20%. At 15 minutes, we're at 46%. This is some really fast charging for a Samsung device. We're up to 70% in 25 minutes, and we are up to 90% at 38 minutes. And the last percent took a few minutes, but we got a full charge in 51 minutes and 59 seconds, 0 to 100%. This is definitely noticeably faster compared to any other previous Samsung phone. Really glad to see the faster 60-watt charging on this. We also have faster wireless charging. There is now this wireless charging puck that can give 25 watts. It's called the Magnet Wireless Charger Qi 2 25 watts. Basically looks like a black MagSafe adapter. However, there is still no magnets built into the phone itself because of the S Pen being built in. So you need to make sure you get a case with a magnet with the Qi 2 ready in order to get the 25 watts of wireless charging. I do have the silicone magnet case to check out for this video. Actually really liking the feel of this silicone case initially. It has a bit more of a hard plastic feel to it. It fits in and out of the pocket decently. We have a little bit of lip on this case, so should be fine putting it on the table. So now we can go ahead, pop that right on there. We have a firm connection here. All their official cases this year have the magnetic backing on them. So overall first impressions, I'm very impressed with the Galaxy S26 Ultra initially. I know a lot of people like to mope and complain there's not a ton of generational differences, but some of the changes made here are honestly really appreciated. Getting those faster charging speeds, some extra camera functionality, a more comfortable feel in the hand, the privacy screen feature. I'm actually enjoying the new Galaxy AI features. If you're interested in potentially picking one of these up, I'll have some links in the description to give you an additional discount potentially. And I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on the S26 Ultra in the comments below. Be sure to give a like on your way out and stay tuned for a lot more videos on this device. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.